7 o'clock here on Rising. Thanks for choosing us to be a part of your morning. I'm Taylor Miller, joined by meteorologist James Scott, Joe Duncan, meteorologist Kaitlin Wright. We have a wonderful show for you. We have a pet of the week coming in, which we got a little picture of, a preview. And also, I think Adam is going to be at the mobile giving machine at the mall, which I'm a little familiar with. I covered it when I was living in Charleston, so I'm excited for you all to get to learn about this wonderful opportunity to give back. And Kaitlin, I will say, this morning, yesterday, it was treacherous outside. Yeah, getting to work, I was a little nervous, to be honest with you, but this morning, totally different.
Yeah, it is different. It is cold, out there. Degrees right now as you head down to areas of Rock Hill, 29 over in Charlotte. Statesville sitting at 26 degrees. So it is a cold start out there. We're 23 in Boone. You factor in a little bit of wind and it feels even colder out there. But I do want to forewarn you this morning. I'm not really a scraper in the morning. I'm like, let's just turn on the heat and wait a little bit. So you might need to wait this morning or just give it a few scrapes out there because we do have some frost on your windshield. So maybe a quick scrape or waiting a couple extra minutes out there, or turn your car on so that heat can get to the windshield a little bit faster for you this morning. Your current conditions, again, we are totally different than what we saw this time yesterday, as we are rain free with temperatures right now, again, in the 20s and in the 30s. Highs today will be topping out still below average as we only make it into the upper 40s for these high temperatures. Now, a difference that we'll see is we'll see plenty of sunshine. Enjoy it, because we will start to see clouds increase across our area as we transition toward our next weather system. So as we head into Thursday, here come the clouds, but we are staying rain, snow, wintry mix free as we head through Thursday. But watch what happens early Friday. Here comes some moisture into the area. Some of us, it will just be a cold rain. Some of us, a little bit of a wintry mix. Some of us, a little bit of snow. So this is a very typical setup here across the Carolinas. If we get a low pressure coming from the Gulf, we have a high pressure to the north. So the cold air will be here for the most part, but will it be here throughout the entire column of the atmosphere? That is dependent on the precipitation type, or that will depict, I should say, the precipitation type. So it totally just depends. But right now we are looking at mainly a wintry mix. I do think a couple inches of snow certainly possible up in the high country. A few flakes, probably about a trace to an inch toward I-40. But here in Charlotte, especially south and east of I-85, this is 20s, 34 degrees right now, though, in Chester and in Lancaster. But for the most part, we are widely in the 20s. 27 in Morganton, Hickory 27, Lincolnton right now sitting at 26, with Charlotte in the upper 20s at 29 degrees. So live radar right now showing this ridge of high pressure in control. Very briefly will be bringing us sunny skies as we travel through the day today, but boy, does that change your day planner for you here in a second. But you look at our next weather system, looking at that sunshine as we head through the day today, but here come the clouds as we head into your Thursday. So prepare for big changes by the end of the week. And I do want to jump right to this because you're going to see a lot of chatter on social media about this crazy snowstorm that we're going to get. It's not going to happen here. We have to look at the column of air. And aloft, I'm just not sure those temperatures will fully support just a snowfall. I think we're going to see a little bit of a wintry mix, talking freezing rain, sleet, some snowflakes, but also just going to be a cold rain. So here's the weather setup. We have that ridge of high pressure to the north that has a clockwise rotation. So we are going to get that cold air at the surface, but I don't think it's going to be below freezing cold air. We also will have this area of low pressure off the coast of the Gulf Coast, and that is going to track to the northeast. That is going to be our moisture source. So we do have cool air, cold, and then we also have that moisture source, but exactly how cold will depict that precipitation type. So we look at the next weather system right here, talking these precip types. Of course, you got the snow, you got the mix, you got the rain, and I am primarily thinking here in the Charlotte area, it is going to be a cold rain. Now I'll pause this. This is showing 9 a.m. on Friday. Some areas, even toward I-40, getting some snow. I think possibly up to an inch, a trace to an inch toward the Morganton area, but as we head toward the high country, probably a little bit more, upwards of possibly 3 inches of snow for you guys. And then in terms of ice, we'll have to watch for accumulating ice. At this point, I'm thinking 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch. So nothing widespread, no huge ice storm outbreak, but we will be getting a glaze of ice, especially if you are north and west of the Charlotte area. South and east of Charlotte, it is going to be a cold rain. So here's the map for you, kind of laying out what precipitation type you guys could expect in your neighborhood. Again, primarily looking at snow across the high country. We're talking a snow to a wintry mix toward I-40. We'll go ahead and call that the foothills. Now, all of this area is shaded here in green. I do think a brief mix is possible. Likely nothing accumulating, but we could see a brief mix. Primarily going to end up being a cold rain, though, as we head through the day on Friday. This is pretty much going to be an all-day event starting in the morning and then lasting with some of those lingering showers as we head into the afternoon as well, probably even into early evening. So let's check out the next 3 days, getting you out the door for today. It's a cold start, 48 degrees for that high temperature for your Wednesday. Come Thursday, 52, and then look at Friday. It is going to be
fine on this hump day. Thanks for riding alongside us. I'm joined by 2 of my favorite Bay Hackle buddies here, Taylor Miller and, of course, meteorologist Kaitlin Wright. I'm meteorologist James Scott. Getting through this hump day. Guys, I'm a little tired, though, because I was by myself out in Morganton. Just kidding. I was joined by meteorologist Gerald Mengel and also by our sports director, Jeff Taylor. But I was only one here on Rising representing. It's okay. I'll forgive you guys a little bit later.
How was it?
It was a good time.
Were there a lot of people out there?
It was packed.
Really?
For a Tuesday night out in Burke County in front of the oh-so-historic Burke County Courthouse. Was a great time out there, as we always have. You know, we weren't able to make it out last year because of the rain that came. They had to move it, and they couldn't match anyone's schedule. So I'm glad the Bay Hackle buddies were able to make a return in some form out in the foothills.
And shout out to your burger joint.
Yes, Uncle E. Oh, my goodness.
That
was so good. Had another one, my second burger in as many weeks. I'll be working off those calories, but forget about Thanksgiving, too. You know what? I feel like these last couple months of the year are just for gaining a little bit of blubber for all this cold that was moving in.
right here.
And, you know, baby season, too, I guess. But, I mean, it was cold last night. It's obviously cold this morning. You were talking about the ice scrapers. I had to use that as well. First time we had some freezing fog.
Always find the latest online or our weather app as well. 26 in Statesville right now, 27 in Hickory. Lincolnton sitting at 25 degrees. So it is a very cold start out there, and cold enough that you do have to scrape that windshield this morning. Allow a few extra minutes or go ahead and start your car, especially before you bring the kids to school or drop them off at daycare. I need to actually text my husband, start the car. It's too cold for those little chickens in the morning. Quick scrape, probably 1 to 2 minutes extra. I would say maybe up to 5 minutes extra out there this morning. We are not seeing any of that rain out there. We did have some freezing fog. 27 in Salisbury, 29 in Charlotte. Gastonia sitting at 28 degrees. Good morning in Gaston County. Your day planner for today, hey, we're going to see more sunshine, so that is good news. We are going to see temperatures still below average, though, as we'll only be topping out really in the 40s, so struggling once again to make it to 50. But I would say enjoy the next couple of days because Friday is going to be another very nasty day. High pressure's in control right now. Decent dose of sunshine. As we head through the day tomorrow, though, we are looking at clouds to increase across the area ahead of our next weather system that will bring a bit of a mixed bag depending on where you're at. Now, we are familiar with setups like this here in the Carolinas. We get a little bit of everything. A low pressure down to our south is surging in some of that moisture. High pressure to the north is supplying that cold air. It's just, will that column of air be cold enough from the upper atmosphere down to the surface for us to see just a snow event? No, I don't think it's going to be. So I think we're going to have a bit of a mixed bag. And we're looking at primarily, I would say, a mix and then snow across the high country, and then a little bit of a mix and cold rain across the foothills. possibly a brief mix in the Piedmont, but it is looking like mainly a cold rain. Now, good news, this does not look to be a devastating ice storm or anything for the area, but a glaze of ice will certainly be possible. I'll lay out those numbers for you coming up here in just a 29 in Uptown right now. It is beautiful. Good morning, Charlotte. We are looking nice, looking over the Bank of America Stadium there. This is our weather stem cam, 29 degrees and a beautiful start to this Wednesday. The wind is rather calm out there. Visibility looking good and no rain to speak of. So a much nicer morning commute weather-wise out there this morning. It is chilly though. Start your car a little bit earlier if you can. You might have to scrape some of that ice off your car this morning. 28 degrees in Concord. Good morning over into Wadesboro. You guys are sitting at 28, 32, freezing. They're in Cheraw with Rock Hill sitting at 31. And good morning in Watauga County. You guys in Boone are sitting at 23 degrees out there this morning. I look at that regional forecast for you. Temperatures, well, it's going to be below average all day long, but getting above freezing across the board. 48 degrees in the Piedmont, 50 as you head over toward I-40. And then looking at the high country, you guys are going to see the sun shining as well. 43 degrees for that high temperature. Now let's get right to this next weather system. The high pressure's in control now, bringing us those sunny skies. But ahead of this system on Friday, here come the clouds. Those are going to start to roll in, not today, but as we head through the day on Thursday. So anticipate the clouds to take over quickly tomorrow. And then here comes Friday. We have a high pressure supplying the cold air from the north, an area of low pressure that's going to be down to the south. So we do have the moisture that's going to come up from the Gulf, and we do have that cold air. But will the column of air be cold enough to support only snowfall? I'm not thinking so, and either are our computer models. Here's the latest look at your future track for you. Yeah, we are going to see some snow. We'll see some mix as well. I would say the most accumulating snow will be up in the high country, but even for you guys, I think you might get a little bit of a mix, some sleet and some freezing rain as well. Possibly just looking at that cold rain, though, here across the Charlotte metro. I'll go ahead and pause this at 9 a.m. What you're seeing in pink is a mix. Could be some freezing rain or some sleet depending on that column of air. Still looking at some snow, a little bit of a mix in the high country, but for the most part, I do think, again, it's going to be a cold rain here for the Charlotte area. We look at your kind of winter storm threats here, and we are looking at mainly snow, some sleet up in the high country, about 1 to 4 inches with a glaze of ice, snow to a wintry mix for those areas shaded here in purple toward I-40. The snow accumulation probably a trace to an inch with maybe a 1/10 of an inch of ice. We'll have to fine tune the ice and the snow total accumulations. And then we are looking at possibly a brief mix, but mainly rain here across the Piedmont.
And Adam is also going to be joining us live from Pineville for a great cause.
Weatherwise forecast, your current temperatures here across the area are sitting in the 20s, 27 degrees right now in Hickory, 25 as you head over to Morganton. Wadesboro, good morning. It's cold. Albemarle, you're chilly too. You both sitting at about 26, 28 degrees out there this morning. So it is a cold start. Allow a few extra minutes. Go ahead and heat up your car a little early if you can, or just be prepared for it to take a little bit for you to get out of the driveway or your parking spot, because you might have to do a quick scrape out there. We are seeing some frost covering our windshields this morning. Maybe about 1 to 2 minutes extra this morning. So just be prepared maybe to run a little bit late out there. But at least on the roads, we're looking dry this morning. Again, as temperatures right now, we're sitting in the 20s. We do have some 30s on the board as well. 31 in Monroe, Cheraw at that freezing mark at 32. Same for you over in Rock Hill. So we are dry across the area. It is just a chilly start out there. Now it will be cold really all day long today. We are looking below average for these high temperatures, about 48 degrees out there today. Our average high is well above that, and that's going to be the trend as we head through the next several days. Actually, temperatures on Friday, you guys, going to struggle to make it to 40 degrees. But we will see plenty of sunshine out there as we travel through the day today. Overnight lows this evening will fall to about 32 degrees. So the sunshine right now is compliments of this ridge of high pressure. High pressure going to bring a pretty nice day out there today, albeit chilly. It's going to be pretty nice. And then here come the clouds streaming in from the west. This is as we head through Thursday. So this is ahead of our next weather system that will arrive on Friday. A low pressure to our south, high pressure to the north. The high is supplying the cold air, the low supplying some of that moisture. So those two things together give us a little bit of a wintry mess. Now, the entire column of air is not going to be below freezing. That's why we're going to have a mixed bag of precipitation. We're looking at rain, though, here across the Piedmont for the most part. Mainly snow up in the mountains with a little bit of a wintry mix. And for the foothills, possibly just a little bit of everything. That rain should be clearing out of here as we head through Friday evening. I'll talk more about possible totals for you coming up here in just a little bit, but really trip you up. So what are you going to say?
Here's what might be tough for us. We like if we just happen to have like a rising day, you know, I do it for you guys.
I love them, but I think I would just want it done in a day. I can't live that for an entire year.
Yeah, I'm going, take my year of lickety-split.
I convince you.
What a tough, thought-provoking would you rather Wednesday. I mean, wow.
That was
just
a good
like,
one.
who thought of that
was
question?
a good one.
Yes.
That was a good one.
A genius.
All right, coming up, indie artist Erica Lane.
Morning to you fine folks there in Salisbury. You guys are sitting at 29 degrees as well. Now, as we travel through the day today, look at that. The icon, sunshine. So finally, it's going to be a pretty nice day. Although it is going to be pretty chilly out there today, we will be seeing sunny skies. We'll struggle to reach 50, though, here across the Piedmont, even into the foothills, and then the high country going to top out at about 44 degrees. So it's going to be a cool day. We'll see this ridge of high pressure in control for today, bringing us that sunshine. As we head through tomorrow, though, we are going to start to get those clouds to increase across the area ahead of our next weather system, which will be arriving as we head into Friday. So here is that setup. We have the cold air being supplied from the north, this ridge of high pressure with the clockwise rotation around the high going to pull in that cold air. We also have this low pressure that's going to form from the Gulf of Mexico. That is going to supply our moisture across the region. So we have the cold air, we have the moisture. Will the entire column of air be cold enough to support a snowfall event here across the Charlotte area? Unfortunately, I'm not thinking so. I think a few miles up, it's going to be a little bit warmer, so we're going to get a little bit of a wintry mix across the region. We are looking at possibly, I would say, mainly snow across areas of the high country. Here across the foothills, looking at I-40, you guys are probably going to see a few flakes, certainly, and I think some of those flakes will make it south of I-40, even as far south as areas like Lincolnton, heading over to Statesville as well, but I don't think it's going to amount to too much. We'll have to be concerned with the glaze of ice that could disrupt any type of commuting in the morning and in the afternoon, because highs will struggle to get out of the 30s throughout the day as we head through Friday. Here in the Charlotte area, though, we are looking at mainly just a cold rain. A few flakes possible, yes, and even a little bit of a glaze of ice, yes, that's possible as well. But this is primarily looking like a cold rain event for our area. A few showers will linger into your Friday evening before all of that rain does start to clear. So here's kind of a recap of what your county can expect. Primarily snow with a little bit of a mix up across Ashwaubenon and Avery counties. We are looking at that snow to a wintry mix with some cold rain as well as you head over toward I-40. And then just looking at that cold rain, a brief onset with a little bit of a mix, but again, primarily that rain. I gotta know that. Good morning to you, Adam. That was wonderful. Books for Kids. That is just a life skill that they can continue to take with them. I love that very unique thing that you're doing this morning. We look at our weather sim cam, 31 degrees. It is beautiful over over uptown, looking over the Bank of America Stadium here. I love this camera view. Plenty of sunshine out there for today. Yeah, we have some clouds out there, but anticipate us to see blue sky and sunshine. So a much brighter day out there. Visibility looking just fine. And the wind is pretty calm here in the Charlotte area. 28 in Concord. Hey, Charlotte, we just jumped to freezing. 32 for you guys. 31 in Monroe and over into Wadesboro. Looking at Lincolnton this morning, sitting at 27. So it is certainly a cold start. Allow extra time. I would say at least 5 minutes out there this morning, because I had a lot of frost on my windshield this morning, as did everybody. So just a heads up this morning. morning, you'll want to start your car, at least allow some extra time to scrape some of that light ice off the car this morning. Your regional forecast, 48 degrees. That's it, guys, into this afternoon. So it's going to be chilly out there throughout the day. Yeah, we're warming and the sun will feel nice, but still going to be cool out there. Upper 40s, near 50 as you head toward areas of the foothills, and then the high country about 44 degrees for you guys as well. So compliments of high pressure. That's why we're seeing the sunshine out there today, but it's short-lived. We have these clouds that'll start streaming in from the west here across the region as we head through Thursday. Thursday might be a little bit warmer out there, but we are going to see more cloud cover in play. Now, that is all ahead of our next weather system, which is going to be cold air being supplied from the north, an area of high pressures up there, and then moisture being supplied from this area of low pressure that's developing along the Gulf Coast. So these two things combined could give us a little bit of a wintry mess as we head through Friday. So here's a look at the timing and the moisture along with that precipitation type as we head through the day on Friday. So this is 5 a.m. We're already getting that moisture here across the area. Likely going to be a snow event, mainly snow for the high country with a little bit of a wintry mix. Now, foothills, I'm talking to you. I think you're going to see a little bit of everything. Possibly a dusting of snow, maybe up to an inch. I do think it's going to be mainly freezing rain and rain for you as well, though. And then primarily just looking at that cold rain to set up here across the Charlotte area. So here's another way I put this together to look at this. It's going to be primarily a cold rain. Now, could we see some flakes fly in areas like Lincolnton or Statesville? Yeah, sure, we certainly could. I just don't think it's going to be much, if any. Measure sitting at 30 degrees. So good morning. It is cold out there this morning. I would allow some extra time, scrape off that windshield. As the sun is coming up, though, it will help you out a little bit, but still allow a few extra minutes this morning. 48 for the high today in the Piedmont, certainly December. 50 in the foothills, 44 as you head up toward the high country. So for the next couple of days, the main thing today, more sunshine, but cold even into the afternoon. By Thursday, more cloud cover, slightly warmer, still below average, but we're making it into the low 50s. Now by Friday, all eyes are on Fridays. We have a storm system that will bring a mixed bag of precipitation throughout the day Friday, mainly snow in the high country, but a bit of a mix stretching into even areas of the northern Piedmont, not ruling out a few flakes, but it's looking like it's going to be a cold rain here across our area. Here's
looking forward to that. Thank you all for rising alongside us each and every morning. We appreciate you more than you know. Have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday.
Stay warm.